Good morning and welcome to the last Dallas ISD Virtual Discover of the year before your application is due on January 31st. Buenos días y bienvenidos al último evento virtual de Discover Dallas ISD o Descubra Dallas ISD. Si quiere escuchar esta presentación en español, por favor vaya a la parte inferior de su pantalla y encuentre el símbolo del mundo. Pulse en ese símbolo y escoja el idioma español. Si esto no funciona, repita el proceso y si tiene algún problema, por favor, pónganlo en en la Q y A que está también en la parte inferior de su pantalla. Este sistema no trabaja muy bien con los dispositivos Chrome, así que los alentamos a usar un dispositivo Android o un dispositivo iOS de Apple. Okay, thank you so much again for joining us. We'll have experts presenting about all of the different. Actually, if we can. Presenting about the different programs. We'll also have an application walkthrough. And at the end, we'll be answering your questions. So if you're anything like me, as people are going through and you're getting information, you'll think of questions and you don't want to wait till the end because you will have forgotten the question. So you can use the Q&A that is at the bottom of your screen and put in your question at any time during the presentation, and we'll make sure that we either answer them there or that we answer them out loud. We're not, just so you know, we can't really answer questions that are very personal, like questions like about, what is the best program for my child? Well, like we don't know your child, so we can't really answer that out loud. We can't really answer any questions that are specific about like special education services. We're happy to guide you to where you can go for that information or who you can contact. And also, we might get like 5 or 6 questions that are kind of the same. So we might not get your particular question answered, um, but we will get one that is similar to that question. So we'll just answer one of the questions out loud so that we get the topic answered. We also will have this presentation available as a video recording on the page dallasisd.org/discover that you use to register, so you can watch it later if you missed anything or you need additional information. So I guess we are just now going through the presentation. The application, as you may know by now, is due January 31st. And you can find that at www.dallasisd.org/discover. You can get help with the application during the week, Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. by calling 972-925-5560. Today, if you get enough information then you want to fill out the application, but you still have questions or you encounter an issue while going through the application, we're going to have a phone bank from 11 to 2 available, same number, 972-925-5560, and people will be there to answer your questions and help you through the application and answer questions about some of the programs. So the next we have the application, the information about the Office of Centralized Enrollment, and so you can hear about what they do.
Good morning, everybody. Super excited to have this opportunity to have you here on this amazing Saturday morning. My name is Yesenia Ramirez. I am the Executive Director of Centralized Enrollment, and you will get to meet some of my team members here in today's Zoom meeting and presentation. But I do want to let everybody know that we have our team spread out in different parts of the city in different offices that we call the One Center. And here in our office, we'll be able to provide support to our families with applications, registrations, transcripts, and other additional information. We are available from Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 5 p.m. You can call us on a phone that's here or email us. But again, you're more than welcome to come on by, stop by, say hi, or if you have any questions in regards to the applications that we have, please come by and give us a call.
Great, thank you. And now we're going to have Mayra Andrade do the walkthrough of the applications so you can kind of see what that looks like.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mayra Andrade. I am a program manager with Centralized Enrollment. Today, I'll be walking you through the process on completing an application by the January 31st deadline. So the first thing that you want to do is log on to Dallas ISD webpage. Now here with a few clicks, you will be able to navigate to our new application portal. Now, if you are a current or returning Dallas ISD family, you will find that this new portal is not the same one that you've used in years past. So once you log into dallasisd.org, on the main page, you will see a icon that says Choose Dallas ISD. Once you click on that, it will take you to our Discover Dallas ISD webpage, where you'll be able to get more information on the different programs and then be able to view any of our past sessions where you'll be able to get more information on how to apply. As you scroll down the page, you'll find an Apply Now button. Just make sure that it is the apply for the 26-27 school year. You'll click on that and it'll navigate you to the main Guardian login page for our Enroll system. Now here, it does give you some instructions. If you are, like I said, a returning family or have an existing student in Dallas ISD, you already have an account. You will have to reset that password in order for you to log in. And there are some instructions here. You'll click on Forget Password in order to reset your login information. Now, if you are brand new to Dallas ISD, you will need to complete a form so that you can create an account. And then if you need further instructions or a further step-by-step guide, there is a video that will guide you through. Now here, since I already have an account, I will go ahead and log in with my existing information. And once you log in, it will take you to the welcome page. If you already have students with Dallas ISD or have completed an application before, your students will already be set up and will have student cards, as I do here. If you are brand new to Dallas ISD, you will simply click on Add a Student, and it'll ask you for your students' information so that you can add them to your account. For purposes of this showing, I will go ahead and do a secondary application. So I'll click on my student, Discover Secondary, verify the student's date of birth, grade level that they are applying, and enter my home address. Now, something to note, when you enter the address, you have to make sure that you also click from the drop down. If you don't click from the drop down, it will give you an error with the application. Once you verify your address, you continue to scroll down and then save and continue. The only application or form that is open is our choice application. So you will click on Start. Click I agree on our requirements and policies after reading the statement. And then you'll begin the application. You'll start off by completing the student information page, complete the gender, verify again the date of birth, ethnicity and race, and scroll down through the application, completing any and all questions that have the asterisks. Once you complete the page, you'll simply click on Save and Continue at the bottom, and it'll take you to the Parent Guardian information page. Here, you as a parent completing the application will complete your personal information, your first name, last name, date of birth, relationship to the student. Again, you'll enter your address and be sure to click from the drop-down. You'll enter your preferred contact phone number, your email. If you wish to add an additional contact, maybe an additional dad, parent guardian, legal guardian, anyone else like that, you'll just simply click on yes, and the guardian number 2 page will come up for you to complete. If you are a current Dallas ISD employee, you'll answer yes to this question and simply enter your employee email address. Once you are done, click Save and Continue, and you'll be taken to the Selected Schools page. Now, on this page, please make sure to read the instructions here. If you are selecting magnet school programs, be aware that you can only choose up to 2 magnet school programs on your application. You can select a total of 5 school selections, but only 2 magnet programs. So as you navigate down through this page, you do have an option to enter the school name that if you already know where you are applying, and the system will populate the choices at the bottom. Or you can choose to select the filter and sort option, where it'll give you different categories that you can choose from. And then that way you can see that specific list of programs, schools based on the category. So if I select magnet schools, click apply filters, only the list of magnet schools that are available to apply to will show up. Here, if I can, I'll select Booker T. Then I'm also interested in a P-TECH program. I can select P-TECH Early College High School, apply filters, and then it'll only show me the P-TECH and Early College High Schools that are available for my child. So you'll use this filter and sort option or the search by school to enter the names of the schools or find the schools that you are interested in. Again, a reminder, you have up to 5 programs. You don't have to choose all 5, but you do have that option. Now, due to the time, I'll go ahead and just select the 2. Once you're done with your selections, you'll save and continue. And the next page you'll navigate to is the ranked choices. Now, ranking your choices is very, very important because how you rank your school selections will determine which one offer your student may receive. Therefore, please make sure that you select the rankings of the school selections in the order that you most want. Number 1, again, being the one that you most want your child to possibly attend. So here I can choose Booker T, and then I'll choose Thomas Jefferson. But then if you wanted to change them and say, no, I think I want Thomas Jefferson first, you will simply click on the X to delete the number 2 choice, and then the X to delete the number 1 choice, and it'll reset so that you can reselect your ranking choices. We'll do Thomas Jefferson as number 1 and Booker T as number 2. Once you're done selecting your choice ranks in the order that you wish, you'll click on Save and Continue, and continue on with the application. Now, if you have a sibling that is currently attending one of the schools that you've selected, you'll click yes and enter the sibling's information below. The next page is the special services page, where if your student currently has an IEP or a 504 plan, you'll answer here accordingly. If the student does have an IEP, you'll select yes. There is an acknowledgement that you must click. And then you do have to upload a current copy of their IEP documentation in order to proceed. Once you've completed that page, certain programs do have additional required pages that must be completed. For Magnet, will be required to upload your child's most recent report card, their STAR scores, iReady scores, or any other norm reference test scores, and then a copy of your most recent proof of address, like a utility bill, mortgage statement, or a lease agreement. Once you've uploaded your documents, you'll click on Save and Continue. Now, for the program that I did select, Booker T. Washington, they do have an additional questions page where you will select the primary area of interest for your child at this campus. So they do have focus areas, and so here you will select which one they are interested in applying to. For any P-TECH and early college programs, they do have an additional questions page that you will need to read and complete. This is regarding parent guardian levels of education. And then as you scroll down to the bottom, there are some questions that your child will need to answer. They may be short answer, essay type questions. And so you'll be able to give them the opportunity to complete that page. Once completed, you'll save and continue. And then you'll be led to the agreements and signature page. This is where you will read the verbiage here, saying that you do agree with the terms and conditions of applying to these specialty programs. You will be asked for your electronic parent signature. Agree to the electronic signature, click Save and Continue. And then you'll be taken to the review and send page where you will scroll down and review each of the pages that you just completed. If you do notice that you maybe made a mistake, you can always just click on the edit pencil of that section, and it will take you back to that section where you can then edit that answer to that question. Otherwise, you'll just click on review and send. And then as the final step, be sure to click on submit application so that your application choices are successfully submitted. You will be taken to your parent dashboard where you will be able to view the submitted applications. So for example, here, I just applied to Thomas Jefferson P-TECH and to Booker T. Washington Magnet Program. All applications will be in submitted and in processing status until the school is able to review the application and update the status accordingly. Now, if the program has any questions or needs to contact you in any way, you can always review your messages inbox, but then schools may also send you parent notes. And so once they do, in this same page, you'll be able to review the notes by program. You'll receive a little icon here where I'm hovering, and you'll be able to review that notification there as well. As always, if you do at any point have any questions, you can contact the schools directly for any questions on missing documentation or updating any type of documentation that may be needed to proceed with the application process. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Maida. And so this is the application. Looks a little, if you can stop sharing and we can go back to the, thank you. The application looks a little bit different than in past years, but it's basically the same. And as a reminder that our one centers, if you run into any problems, they can definitely help you out with any application issues you may have. Next, we have our transfers, information about our transfers. This is going to our legacy schools. And we have Jorge Flores, who you might actually talk to if you call one of our one centers, to give us information about how you can go about transferring to a legacy school.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mari Carmen, and thank you, Mayra, for that. Legacy schools, also known as your neighborhood schools. And our goal, as always in our district, is to help you as a parent find the best fit school for your student. And oftentimes that is at your legacy school. Your legacy school is determined by your address. It tells you what school your child is zoned to. And oftentimes, every program that you want your child to participate in is at your legacy school. But let's just say that you want to have your child attend a different neighborhood school. Well, that's where you'll be able to submit in this application system a transfer request to a different school. And that is determined by space availability at that school. They will sometimes review grades, attendance, and conduct, but mostly through space availability. And once you get an offer and you accept that offer at that other transfer school, you will be able to attend that school up to the highest grade level available at that school. And so you'll not need to go ahead and reapply again. You will be able to go ahead and attend all the way up to the highest grade. One thing to keep in mind, different than some of our other choice programs, is that if you do accept a transfer to a different school, there won't be any transportation for your student. But you can always do a transfer to different schools every year if you'd like to as well. But our goal as always is to make sure that we find the best fit for your student. And thank you very much. Thanks, Mari Carmen.
Thank you, Jorge. I appreciate the information. This is certainly a really good option for your child because we do have really fantastic programs in our legacy schools as well. You should check them out in your neighborhood or close to your neighborhood too. Next, we have our really fantastic pre-K program that will put your child in a great position to do well the rest of their school time. Not sure who's presenting, but please jump in.
Good morning. Thank you, Mari Carmen. My name is Chris Leja, and I am the Dallas ISD Pre-K coordinator. We ask, why Dallas ISD Pre-K? At Dallas ISD Pre-K, we focus in the early years because we know that 90% of a child's brain develops from birth to age 5. We offer full day Pre-K 3 and full day Pre-K 4 to support and guide the learning, not only academic, but the social and emotional development. Even data shows that if a child attends Pre-K, they demonstrate more growth and are more kindergarten ready compared to students who do not. A transformation in magnet schools match a child's natural curiosity with specialized pathways, turning early potential into lifelong expertise. For example, we have biomedical science. Biomedical prep at UT Southwestern prepares students for the future through biomedical STEAM educational and strong emotional foundations. In addition to that, we have Montessori programs at Eduardo Mata, Onesimo Hernandez, Preston Wood, Buckner Terrace, Ida B. Wells at Downtown. They focus on student independence and self-discovery through a hands-on, cooperative approach. We also have personalized learning at J.W. Ray, a personalized model that powers students' choice and self-direction. We have the STEAM, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, at Dr. Elva and Domingo Garcia West Dallas STEM. It offers hands-on STEM learning that prepares students for in-demand careers. We also have single gender. At Solar Prep for Girls and Solar Prep for Boys, they support boys and girls learning differences while building character and leadership. In addition to that, we have our Performing and Visual Arts School at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They blend artistic passion with rigorous academics. And our 4 premier magnet schools for pre-K, we have starting at pre-K 4, Dilly Montessori and Harry Stone Montessori. And in addition, we have our tag schools, which start at pre-K 3, which are Mark Twain and Trinity Heights tag. Families, feel free to scan the QR code here on the screen, and it will take you directly to a document with additional details and information. The application process for pre-K is a little bit different. So I'm just going through a little bit of process, a quick overview. If you apply for a transformation in a magnet school of your choice, you will have up to 5 choices, 2 magnets and 3 transformation schools. Number 2, in March, you will receive your offer. Either accept or decline within 10 days. And number 3, if you accept the offer, you will need to register for pre-K starting April 1st at the selected campus to qualify for free, scholarship, or tuition-based pre-K. If you have any questions about Dallas ISD pre-K, please give us a call at the pre-K enrollment hotline at 214-932-7735, or visit us at prekdallas.org, or scan the QR code. We can assist with any inquiries.
Great. Thank you so much. Appreciate all that information. Truly, our pre-K program is fantastic. It's award-winning. It's recognized throughout the state. And I'm going to go ahead and say nationally, but we're very proud of it. It really does make a huge difference for our students. So if you if you want your kids to have that extra support, that extra little bit at the beginning that will help them do well the rest of their time in school, choose our pre-K program. It really is great. And just as a reminder that you can find the application at www.dallasisd.org/discover. You can call the one centers, and when you call, you can also find where their locations are to see which one is closest to you. But you can call them Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Or you can call that same number, 972-925-5560, today from 11 to 2 p.m. to get any help with the application, or if you still have any questions about the programs that we are addressing today. Next, we have our magnet schools, which are also award-winning. We were one of the first districts to have magnet schools, and we have Nancy Rubio to tell us all about these programs.
Good morning. My name is Nancy Rubio. I'm the program manager for magnet programs. Our magnet programs start at pre-K and go through high school. We have elementary and middle school programs that focus on Montessori, talented and gifted, STEM, performing and visual arts, and two-way dual language. Next slide. We also have our middle school and high school programs, which again have Montessori programs for middle school, talented and gifted schools for elementary through high school grades. STEM schools are 2 single gender schools, performing and visual arts, two-way dual language, and multiple careers. Students can apply to up to 2 magnet schools. The application process is on our Dallas ISD Discover website. Students who must meet a minimum GPA and test score requirements in order to move on to the assessment process. And I do want to say that that is the main schools. Magnet schools do have eligibility requirements. Next page. When students apply, students will submit a report card. The minimum GPA to apply to our magnet schools is 75 GPA for our Montessori, arts, and STEM programs, and 80 GPA for our talented and gifted schools and our science and engineering high school. Test score eligibility is 40th percentile, and this is on STAR, iReady, or any norm reference test for our Montessori, arts, STEM programs, and multiple career programs, and 70th percentile for TAG and SEM, all our TAG schools and our science and engineering high school. Next slide, please. Seats are awarded based on the following formula. After students take their assessment at their home campus, at the magnet campus, those students are ranked based on the assessment score. 30% of those seats are awarded to students that live in district that scored the highest on the assessment. And the remaining 70% of those seats are awarded throughout the 22 Dallas ISD feeder patterns. So it is very important that along with your application, you do submit proof of address. We also have a sibling rule and sibling preference that applies to our elementary and middle school programs. The sibling preference for George Deely and Harry Stone is that students must pass the assessment in order to get priority. The sibling preference at our elementary and other middle school programs, students receive 5 points, and those 5 points are awarded to the overall assessment. I do want to note that students that live within Dallas ISD do get priority. We do accept applications from all over, from everywhere, but students that live within Dallas ISD do get priority. If parents are having issues or are having trouble obtaining report cards or test scores from their home school, and this is for students that attend Dallas ISD, they can always call our office and we can assist with obtaining those documents. The magnet contacts are also on the page. I'm Nancy Rubio. Mayra Andrade and Shatera Walter will also be able to assist with any questions you have.
Great, thank you so much. Definitely, we have a lot of questions already about our magnet programs. Please keep sending in your questions. We started answering them in the Q&A, but we'll also ask them out loud after the presentations and get you answers that way. So keep them coming, please. And next we have our transformation and innovation programs. And I'm not sure who's presenting that, but please do jump in. And Maribel, maybe you?
Yes, my name is Maribel Webster. I'm one of the OTI specialists. So our transformation and innovation schools, we have over 18 transformation schools. Transformation schools offer specialized academic programs. They are designed around single gender, Montessori, personalized learning, STEM, visual and performing arts. There are no academic entry requirements. Students are selected through a randomized lottery. Our application process and requirements, you apply through School Mint Enroll, transportation provided for in-district students, proof of residency, a proof of income is requested or SNAP if applicable. Just go for our 50-50 socioeconomic diversity schools. If you choose not to provide proof of income, it's okay. The option is to submit proof of, or the option is not submit proof of income. Students will be placed in the non-economically disadvantaged lottery. It's me as a contact and my coworker, Naomi Gonzalez. You can email us if you have any more questions. Why you would choose a transformation school if your student is currently working on core classes, but is excelling in arts, we would be a good choice for you. But that's it. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Just another quick reminder, dallasisd.org/discover, call 972-925-5560, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. through 5 p.m. For help during the week, or you can use our phone bank today from 11 to 2 p.m. Next, we have our two-way dual language, which is also a great program, allows your children to be bilingual, biliterate, and really be prepared for our very global world. So presenting for this program is
It's me,
Polito?
Luis.
Or,
Luis.
oh, Luis. Okay.
Thank you.
I was like, I lose track.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Luis Jordan, and I am an instructional specialist with the Dual Language ESL department. And I'm also joined today by my colleagues Hipólito Rodriguez and Gloria Bastidas. We'll be sharing with you an overview of the two-way dual language program. As you can see here, the two dual language program is a great model that brings together students who are learning English and students who are learning Spanish, and provides them both with the opportunity to become bilingual and biliterate. In this program, students learn to read, write, speak, listen, and think in both languages, English and Spanish, every day. And also, students grow up with a deep appreciation for different cultures and perspective. Can you show the next slide, please? I'm sorry. We want to let you know that Dallas ISD is offering 74 school options with dual language programs next school year. To explore these options, visit Discover Dallas ISD School Finder with the link that is on the screen. Once you're on the site, click Explore Schools in Dallas, and you can use the map to find schools near you. Check out the school profiles by clicking See School Profile to learn more about each one. And under the Programs tab, you'll see if the school offers dual language and which type. And we have two types, which are two models. The one-way dual language and the two-way dual language. So one-way dual language means that it serves students who are emerging bilinguals, and the two-way dual language means that the program is serving both emerging bilinguals and optim students, which are students who speak English and are learning Spanish. We would like to take a look at. We would like you to take a look at and see which schools is the best fit for your child. And if you need support or have questions, we're here to help. Thank you. I'm sorry. This is my also more information about the program. This is about the languages and the way the instruction is structured. So we start in pre-K and kindergarten with the instruction being 90% in Spanish and 10% in English, cementing like a base for with students native language Spanish. Then in first grade, we increase a little bit the instruction in English, being 80% in Spanish and 20% in English. And to finally, by the time the students are in second grade, all the way through sixth grade, the students is going to be 50% in Spanish and 50% in English. And that will be for elementary school. Now for secondary school, Hipólito is going to give us some information.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Buenos días a todos. As you can see here on the slide, we have a list of all our middle schools and high school with dual language secondary programs. So on the left side, you can see that we have 8 middle schools, and they are Hotchkiss. We have J.L. Long, we have Ann Richards, Rosemont Upper, Alex Sanger. Also, we had the School for the Talented and Gifted, Edie Walker, and Walnut Hill. Now, going on the right side, we have a total of 4 high schools, and they are North Dallas, Sunset High School, WTY, and Woodrow Wilson. Let's go to the next slide. So for our high schools and secondary dual language program, you're able to see the middle school and the high school pathways. So on the middle school pathway, you can see that 6th grade will need 1 reading language arts in Spanish, 1 core content course in Spanish, and all other courses will be taught in English. For the students from 7th grade all the way to 12th grade, a student will need 1 core content course in Spanish, 1 Spanish load course in Spanish, and the other course will be in English. For those who are not familiar with the acronym LOAD, it means language other than English. So Spanish LOAD courses focus on developing Spanish language proficiency through the study of literature, culture, and authentic text from a Spanish-speaking world. Next. And that's it for my part. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for this information about our dual language program. I know we have a few questions about that, so we are answering them as fast as we can. We'll also answer them out loud. So thank you for putting them in there. Just as a reminder, we're not taking questions live from attendees, but we are taking them from the Q&A that's at the bottom of your screen. So if you have a question, please type it in there so we can get to them that way. Next, we have our International Baccalaureate program.
Yes, hi, my name is Flor Saldierna. I'm the administrative assistant with centralized enrollment. So for the International Baccalaureate program or IB program, the IB diploma program is a challenging 2-year pre-university course of study. Its curriculum is designed to provide a broad liberal arts experience for the university-bound student. The goal for the student is to gain an internationally recognized diploma, and the IB diploma is a highly coveted achievement that builds a student's resume for the university studies and careers. You will apply through the same application as our other programs. You would be required to upload a most recent report card, STAR test results or iReady, and proof of address. We do have 3 high schools that offer this program, which is high school, Hillcrest High School, Woodrow Wilson High School, Adamson, and we also have one of our transformation schools that also offers the Dr. Haynes at Paul Quinn College. If you have any questions, you have my information, my emails attached, and also Mr. Jorge Flores, or you can also contact us at the One Centers for any additional information. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have our P-TECH program. I cannot say enough about the P-TECH program. I think it's fantastic. It is a great help for so many of our students. We've had it for a while, not like a decades, but the time that we have had it, it has made a huge difference already. So we're excited to tell you more about it.
Thank you so much. I could not have said that better myself. I appreciate that. My name is Dr. Dylan Roseberry. I am so proud to be one of our instructional specialists representing our 26 P-TECHs and early college programs. P-TECH stands for Pathways in Technology Early College High School. And before I proceed down the slide here, the main differences between us and all of our other fantastic options is that our main bread and butter is that after your students' 4 years of high school, that when they walk across that stage and they have their high school diploma in one hand, they've just walked across the college stage and they have their 2-year associate degree college diploma in the other. Many of you parents may have been like me, that we picked up some college credits in high school. That's being a dual credit student. And you do that so that when you graduate, you've started a little bit ahead of your competition if you want to go on and complete your bachelor's degree. P-TECH Early College is that, but at the next level. You are not just completing some college credits, you are completing a 2-year associate's degree, a college degree, completely while you are in high school as a high school student. So we have 26 of these options. Depending on what your student is interested in, they have the opportunity to earn up to 60 hours of college credit, which equates to an associate's degree in most cases. It costs you nothing. The student and the parent are never responsible for paying for tuition, fees, textbooks, supplemental resources, transportation, meal plan. You pay for absolutely nothing. The only thing we need parents' help with is to make sure that your student is at school and you're helping us support them, and they are never alone. We're there every step of the way. In most cases, the student completes a course of study that leads to either an Associate of Arts or an Associate of Science degree. Our higher education partner, we proudly partner with Dallas College, which operates numerous college campuses throughout this area. We also are proud to partner with East Texas A&M University, formerly known as Texas A&M University Commerce, which operates a location here as well, and also the University of North Texas at Dallas. We can go on to the next slide, please. Another difference between us and many of these other fantastic programs is that we do not, P-TECH Early College does not require transcripts, report cards, a test score. We don't look at anything like that. All we require is interest, and you fill out our application. We then call you in for an interview, and the purpose of that interview is simply to ensure that you and your student know what you're getting into, know what's expected, but to ensure that we are the best fit for them, that they're a good fit for that program. We want them to be successful, and that program and that individual school is a good fit for them. So again, you are completing your high school diploma. That comes first, of course, and you're completing up to 60 hours of college credit. None of it costs. We also offer, in addition to all of this, your P-TECH early college student has the option to participate in up to 1,000 opportunities for internships. Last year, in school year 24-25, I believe it was 1,015 internship opportunities that our students had that have led to some really high-paying jobs in the DFW area. We have over 150 industry partners. Again, these lead to paid internships with companies like American Airlines, Capital One, AT&T, Baylor, UT Southwest, Univision, the list goes on. We're adding more and more industry partners all the time. Next slide. On the left here, and you can scan the QR code, and this will take you to a PDF version of our latest brochure. This just shows you a map of all the Dallas College locations and the location of our 26 P-TECH early colleges. You do not have to live closest to the one your student would want to go to, but as far as transportation, how that works, you would just simply be responsible for getting your student to the closest high school, and they would be taken to wherever their P-TECH early college is. Since 2016, Dallas ISD P-TECH early college students have earned 588,031 college credit hours, again, at no cost to students and their families. And so one of the most common questions we do receive, and then I'll pass it along, is that if my student is already in high school, can I apply to be P-TECH early college? And unfortunately, in most cases, no. That's why we encourage that you start as a freshman. And that's simply because if you are already a sophomore or junior, we simply cannot guarantee that you will complete 60 credit hours or the associate's degree. So I will be happy to answer specific questions after this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate that information, but really, truly consider the P-TECH program because it is great. We've had students who have not only graduated with an associate's degree, but with jobs through the internships. I mean, they do so well in those internships that those companies want to hire them, and then they're working while also getting their college degree the last 2 years in the 4-year college, because they already have the credits for the first 2 years, and they did not have to pay a cent for those. And that is so important at a time where college is well, not cheap. So it can make such a huge difference in launching your child's life. So really consider the P-TECH program because it's fantastic. I'm a huge fan. So another great program that we have is our Career Institutes. They haven't been around quite as long as P-TECH, but they also offer a lot of great opportunities. We have 4 Career Institutes. They're in different areas of the city. And the way that they work is that the high school you go to goes to a particular career institute. So this is one of those where if you see a program that's offering one of the career institutes, you may want to use the transfer um, program to the transfer application to transfer to a high school that goes to a career institute where you have a program that your student is interested in. And you can find what those programs are at each of the career institutes at dallasisd.org/career institutes. But as you can see, we have a great variety of programs from information technology to architecture and construction, health sciences, manufacturing, transportation, distribution, and logistics. These are all like really highly valued careers at this time. The career institutes offer they work with industry partners as well, not in the same way as PTech, but also they get professionals to come in, teach some classes. They also look at what the market is needing, and they offer those programs. So this is also a great option for your students. Depending on what grade they're in high school, they'll go for half a day to the Career Institutes. We offer transportation from their high school to the Career Institute back to the high school. So that's another, you don't have to worry about getting them there. Next. You can see where our career institutes are. We have North, which is on Midway Road, the Charmaine and Robert Price Career Institute South and on Village Fair. We have the Adela Williams Career Institute East on Malcolm X Boulevard and Career Institute West, which we're still working on building, but it is currently housed with the Career Institute South. But we do have them at each of the quadrants of the districts so that the high schools that feed, and you can see in the map, I know it's kind of small, but you can find that also in their webpage, what high schools feed into which career institute, and that will also help you figure out which programs are offered in those career institutes so you can decide if you want to use the application to transfer to a particular high school that has the program that your child is interested in. Next. Now we have, and I hope you got enough information about the Career Institutes. Next we have, and I know there's a lot of questions that have come through. We can unfortunately not answer or address specific cases of students, but we can tell you a lot about how our special education programs works with these schools, these choice programs and choice schools. And we have Ricardo Corrales who can tell you all about this.
Good morning. I appreciate our colleagues giving us a platform to collaborate with them and join in this endeavor. Yes, as has been stated, a lot of the specific answers related to what's the best school for my child, what's the best program, if she has an IEP, he has an IEP, etc. A lot of that is going to absolutely depend on what the IEP says in and of itself. So an IEP is something that would have been developed by an art committee. And then once we get that IEP, we can help determine the appropriate programming for that student. We do collaborate on a regular basis with our colleagues that have been presenting today when they get applications. When we mentioned earlier on in the application process, there was a place where if the student was special ed and also to attach any documentation. The documentation we really need to see is the IEP. Sometimes people might add an evaluation. That's valuable information, absolutely. But what we really need to see is the IEP that was developed by an art committee. And that can tell us the setting that the student needs based on his or her needs. So that's kind of how we go from there. So like I said, we collaborate with our colleagues all the time. They give us a list of students that are interested in some of these schools. and they attach the IEP. If it is an IEP, it's something we can review. If it's Dallas ISD, if it's out of district, it doesn't matter. We can review the IEP, and then we can follow through with our collaborators here within the district, and let them know if the students would be eligible for the specific schools that they are applying to. So if you do have a student that's in special education, please be assured that we will collaborate with our team here to make sure that the school is appropriate, that it would work out, and if they have the programming based on the IEP first and foremost. So in some of the answers that you've been getting, a lot of them says to reach out to special ed department. You can certainly do that as well. We are available 972-581-4100. Or of course, you can go to notifysped@dallasisd.org, and we would be glad to assist you. So this first slide just kind of explains the special education department in Dallas ISD. Of course, we have the big picture, the big number of how many students we have, 135,000. That's just all students enrolled in Dallas ISD. But as we know, every student is different. So, within those programs, we have students, some that need, some are emerging bilingual, some have other programs. And of course, special education is another one of those things. So there are just under 17,000 students in Dallas ISD that receive special education services. And a good amount of them, about 7,481 to be exact, are duly identified as bilingual students and SPED students. Next slide, please. So we do have different types of programs. Most of our campuses do house some kind of a special ed program. So, but not every campus has the same program. So to kind of explain that is that, yes, if you might need some services like inclusion or resource, again, spelled out in the IEP, then that would be something that most campuses would have some kind of a program that could serve the student. But if your student requires a specialized program, then not every campus in our district has specialized programs. So that's why, again, we have to review the IEP and the setting that has been determined by the art committee to decide, does this campus even have that program on it? And that's what we do in our steps. So within special education, we have external support that's known as mainstream. Like I mentioned a little bit, most of our campuses should be able to accommodate that. Consultation, that means that the teacher consults with the special ed teacher, consults with the general ed teacher, just to make sure that the student is receiving the supports that they need. And of course, we have in-class support. Again, in-class support is something where our inclusion students, they sit in general ed classrooms, just like any other student that doesn't have any services. And our teachers go in and support them, whether it's with assignments or just kind of reaffirm and reteach what the general ed teacher is teaching. So they kind of come into the class, support the students for the amount of minutes that's spelled out in the IEP, and then they go to another student and help them as well. So, and then we have ECSC, that's our early childhood special education. We do have a collaborative program where we have, those are for our little kids that are 3-year-old, 4-year-olds, and they are in a classroom with one general ed teacher and a TA and one special ed teacher. So those students are in special education, but they are again, based on their IEP and their needs, they are in a general ed setting where they kind of receive support from the general ed teacher and the special ed teacher at the same time in that classroom. And then, of course, like I mentioned, we have specialized programs. So specialized programs can include behavior programs. They're called Redirection and Win. That is for students that need a little more support with their behavior. They are general ed students, but they might need some behavior support in the classroom, built into the classroom. And again, not every campus in our district has a redirection or WIN classroom. And then, of course, we have the ECSC self-contained classroom. That is a specialized classroom for our 3 and 4-year-olds. Again, not every school is going to have that program. We have Resource. Resource, again, is a program where a student might need specific help in a particular learning disability area. It might be math, might be reading. So again, a lot of times the teachers pull out those students and they work with our students in those areas. But once they're done with those pull-out services, the students would return back to their general ed setting and take the rest of the classes with the rest of their cohorts. And of course, we have those specialized programs that are called ADL. ADL is for students that really do need a lot of assistance. A lot of them might have some medical concerns, and they might need to be tube fed. Different scenarios like that, to where we have to create a specialized classroom and curriculum and programming support for those students. And then we have functional life skills, FLS, and we have TC, total communication. Those are specialized programs. Again, it'll be spelled out in the IEP what kind of programming that student needs. FLS typically is for students that are in special education. They might be 3 to 4 years behind their cohorts, and it is more of a functional type class. Again, not every campus is going to have that program. And then finally, there's total communication. That is primarily for students that need help with communicating. And it is a program to help students communicate that might not be able to orally communicate so easily. Again, that program is not going to be available on every campus. So again, just to kind of wind it all up, it's all going to depend on what the IEP says. So if you are interested in any of these schools, all these great schools that we've talked about, then it's all going to depend on the student's IEP. And the special ed department here in Dallas ISD partners with these programs in the application process to make sure that the students would be eligible to join those schools based on, again, what the IEP says. Next screen, please. And we offer a continuum of services across the district. That's what I've kind of been mentioning. There are many types of programs, some that require a lot of support, some that require kind of middle support, and some that require not as much support. But again, each IEP is different. Each student is different that has the IEP. So inclusion services are offered at all the campuses. Not all specialized programs are offered at every campus. And then contact the campus of interest for more information on the availability of specialized programs. Or you can also contact 972-581-4100 and or notify SPED at dallasisd.org, and we can collaborate with our team members to see what kind of programming is needed for your student. Next slide, please. And that's it for special education. I appreciate your time.
Great. Thank you so much for all that information about special education. We do get a lot of questions about special ed. So I hope that they were answered. We've been answering all your questions on the Q&A, and we will continue to do that. So, but we do have some questions already waiting. So we'll go ahead and do that. And if you want to jump in when I ask the question, if this is an area that you are an expert in, we will just jump in and answer. If not, I will call on someone to answer it. So let's start with some of the general questions about the application. Can we apply for any school in the district, or is it restricted to schools that are zoned? Jorge?
Absolutely. You can absolutely apply to any school, any program that you qualify for. And now is the time. You have till January 31st. That's a great question. But yes, you can apply.
And just hang in there because I've got a couple more you can answer.
Of course.
What if the school that we want appears in the Dallas ISD locator, but not as an option to submit an application to? What could be going on there?
I suggest that might be a little bit more specific to go into. So that parent, please call us at 972-925-5560 so we can answer that question with more detail once we get your address to see and to verify. It could be that the address is when they put the address, a school may not be showing because there could be something going on with the address, but that would probably be more specific that we can answer one-on-one with that parent.
Okay, great. And do transfer requests have to be submitted by January 31st, or can students request a transfer later?
That's a great question, and I think I was trying to answer that one as well because there was a few of those. Well, our most popular uh, neighborhood schools probably get filled up. So I would definitely recommend that most parents who are interested in some of our more popular schools to apply by the 31st. We will reopen up again application for transfers, but that will be late in March. All other programs will probably be closed because they'll fill up and they'll have their seat capacities ready to go. But if you really, really want a certain school, I would highly suggest that you apply by the 31st so you can be considered in this lottery. Because that popular school may not be available going forward. But you don't necessarily have to apply right now. But I would definitely recommend that you do for transfers.
Right, because you can only transfer to a legacy school if there are spots available in that school.
Exactly.
So if they fill up, then yeah, that would be an issue.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I don't know if you can answer this or somebody else can jump in. This has to do with like the choice, the ranking of the application. There's a couple questions related to that. Somebody has already submitted their applications for one school, but I guess after hearing all the great choices we have now, they want to go back and perhaps add other schools to their application. And others are wondering how they can change their ranking in the application and if they can still do that now.
Great question. I'll try to answer it, but anyone else who wants to add to it, obviously they can. Yes, now is the time to make any edits to your application. If you want to change the ranking after you heard today's presentation, everything can be edited up to January 31st, the deadline. After that, the application system closes. It won't be available. And whatever you put as ranked schools, that will remain for the lottery. So now's the time. And if they need any assistance, 972-925-5560, we will be more than happy to help them. We're here as a team to help you find the best fit school.
And I know this is a question you usually answer. So if I am already in a transformation school or a magnet school, do I need to apply every year or do I just stay there till I'm done?
Those programs are like a transfer. I had mentioned that once you're in a program, and this includes transformation and magnets, you can remain there up to the highest grade level that you're that it goes to. So yes, that's a good question.
Right. And they can, and if your kids are going to a legacy school right now, but they want to move to another one, the transfer application is the way to go. Also, and this is a question that Nancy always gets because it's like like a lot of people want to know about the magnet program. So we can maybe switch to a few questions about the magnet program. If someone is relocating to Dallas, and they don't have an address yet, what address do they use, and will that affect their application?
Mari Carmen. So they would use their current address. So if they're currently living out of state or out of district, they would use that address. They have an opportunity to change that address up until January 31st. But after that, the application will be processed with the address that they are currently living at. That could possibly mean an out-of-district application. So Your application will still be considered. The student will be scheduled for an assessment. But when we run our selection process, we do give priority to in-district students. So it may be that your student may end up on a wait list. And we hold that wait list all through the summer and through the beginning of the school year, the first 2 weeks, I believe. So, you know, don't lose hope because we are constantly pulling students from the wait list.
Okay. But really you should, find a place to live quickly if you want to go to some of these. And because some of these applications, especially for magnet schools, they're very not competitive, but there's not that many openings. So you do want to get in there and make sure you
I would
apply.
definitely explore the schools that we do have online seats available for all our um, opening grade levels. So definitely, you do want to apply to a school that has several seats available. And the best time to apply would be at those entry grade levels, which would be, of course, our pre-K, our sixth grade, and our ninth grade is where most of our seats are open.
Right, and you have a better, I mean, you can still apply for other grades, but they may not show up in the application because there are no spots
That
open
is
for
correct.
that grade level. So,
Yes, if you are applying and it is not a show up as an option, that means there are no seats open for that grade level.
okay. And have the magnet schools already started their selection? How, because for magnet schools, and I guess P-Tech with the interview, you guys have like a process, right? So once the application is in, some of the schools like Booker T requires um, something different than one of like tag. But how does the process work, and what can parents expect once they submit their application, even now before the 31st?
So those assessments and our auditions at those schools are ongoing right now. So when a parent submits an application, the school will review it. Within about a week, the parent should get a response, letting them know their student met the eligibility, which is the grade point average and the test scores. If that student did meet the eligibility requirement, then the second email will be an assessment, an appointment email that will schedule that student to come into the campus. If it's an art school, then they would the assessment would be an audition. If it's a tag school, then the student would possibly write an essay, take a math test, and some other items that they use for assessment. That would be the second email. After the student completes that assessment, um, then we would run our selection process in February, and the student would receive a response February 28th as far as if they were accepted or waitlisted.
Okay. And so two questions. One is, how do these assessments and auditions work for somebody who is applying from out of town? Would they have to come in for those?
So yes, so the on-campus assessment is in person. They do have to be present to take that assessment.
Okay. And since you mentioned wait lists, if you're waitlisted for your first choice school, but you're accepted for your second choice, how does that affect your wait list status? If you want to remain on the wait list for your first choice, do you have to decline your second choice, or do you accept it? And if then you get accepted to your first choice, can you how does that work?
So yes, if you are waitlisted at your first choice, you will remain on that wait list. And if you receive an offer from your second choice, you can accept your second choice and remain on the wait list for the first choice. So anything um, that is ranked higher than the choice that you received, and let's say you received waitlist for those offers, and you will receive. So if you have choice 1, 2, and 3 waitlisted, and you get an offer for your fourth choice, your first, second, and third choice schools will remain on the wait list. So you don't lose them. You stay on the wait list. And if you do get an offer from one of those schools, you can accept that offer and it will automatically decline any offer that you accepted that was lower than that.
Okay, great. So yeah, so don't lose hope. You could still get into your first choice.
Yes, certainly.
And just a general for information, there's a lot of questions that are specific about forgetting your password, do you have to create another account? All of those questions are kind of specific. If we don't get to answer them in the Q&A, please make sure that you call 972-925-5560. I think some parents were having a little trouble reaching the phone bank, but hopefully it is now working. So give them a call and they can help you out with those details. It's kind of hard to do it here, like with everyone, because they, might need very specific information for you. So it's difficult to do that. So how much time do students or parents have to accept their school after it's been approved or after they receive the email?
You have 10 days to accept an offer.
And if you don't,
it will automatically decline.
Okay, so make sure you keep track of those emails and messages so that you are accepting or declining whatever it is that you end up doing within those 10 days. Okay. And well, you already addressed it, that you can apply to a magnet program beyond 9th grade or 6th grade, but your chances are not as great getting in because there has to be a spot.
Correct.
And that's important to know because, parents hear about this and their kids in the middle of high school and now they want to go. And that also applies to PTEC. It's because we have several questions about that. PTEC is a high school program and you can go into it in the 9th grade. It's difficult, if not impossible, to jump into the program in the middle because the classes are structured and sequential. So, it's best to start at the beginning. And that applies to career institutes as well. If you want to go to a career institute, we encourage you to start at the 9th grade. I think this is more of a question for perhaps for our transformation folks about any virtual schools. Do we have, can you tell us about our virtual school and what grades attend that school? Because somebody asked about if it's available for high school grades.
Hi, so currently we don't have a full online schools for Dallas ISD. We do have hybrid, which is, I believe, 3 days virtual and 2 days on campus. But I believe that's just for elementary to middle school.
Okay. Very good. And we do have several questions for pre-K. So Chris, if you want to jump in. So there's a parent who's been trying to register, like right now, if you're applying for pre-K for some of these schools, it's like you have to, if you want your child to go to pre-K at these schools, any of the specialty programs in schools, you have to apply now through January 31st. And then there's another step that you have to do in April for the pre-K part of it. But Chris, if you want to, this parent says, I've been trying to register my kid for pre-K 4 at a dual language and STEAM schools, but they're not being given the options to register, and the schools that they like are not listed. How do you find like the best pre-K program and the school that you want to go to? How does that work?
Okay, so right now the application is specifically geared towards the schools that were mentioned previously, like Montessori, single gender. If you're wanting to go to a specific school and for the dual language, that registration opens on April 1st. So let's say you want your child to go to Sanger, if that's one of the schools and you want them to go to dual language, that happens April 1st.
Okay. And it doesn't matter if you want to attend these particular schools that you mentioned in pre-K, you don't have to be zoned for those schools, right?
Correct. So that's the good thing about transformation schools. You can live on the other side of Dallas and you can apply to these schools and they will transport your baby over to these specialty schools. And like Ms. Mari Carmen mentioned earlier, it is a process for pre-K as well. So you submit your application, you get a spot, get an offer, you accept it, and then on April 1st, you come back and do a registration to qualify for the pre-K program as well.
And
It's a
even
two-step process.
yes, it is. So don't forget, there's like something else in April, but you know what? We will remind you. We're very good about sending communications. But something else to keep in mind is the qualifications for pre-K. There's some qualifications that let you have free pre-kindergarten. And then you also can get a scholarship, or we have tuition-based pre-K. And I don't know if you can go over those a little bit. And that's the part that comes in April, right?
Correct. So like Ms. Mari Carmen was mentioning, yes. So in order for you to qualify for pre-K, we do have different tiers. The first one is, of course, if you qualify through our TEA, which are 8 different ways to qualify. It's economically disadvantaged, unable to comprehend the English language, a military dependent, a dependent of a Star of Texas Award recipient. If you received SNAP, Medicaid, or TANF, and or if you're a teacher in Dallas ISD, your child gets to attend pre-K for free. And if you don't qualify for any of those eligibilities, then we do have the Dallas ISD scholarship, where we've expanded our income bracket. So a parent, a family can qualify through an expanded income, or if your child is part of the achievement gap students, which are currently classified as African American students. That's another eligibility for the scholarship. And or if you think that your baby who speaks only English thinks that he doesn't comprehend it fully, you can ask us to have that baby tested, and that may be another eligibility for your baby to attend for free. Now, if your baby does not qualify for any eligibilities that I've mentioned already, then we do have the tuition option where you will pay for your baby to attend pre-K.
Great. And how early do they need to apply for like pre-K 3? Like I would like for the how at what point of the year do they have to be 3 to be able to participate in the pre-K 3 program?
So the pre-K program is for 3 and 4-year-olds, and they have to meet that eligibility by September 1st. So your baby has to be 3 years old by September 1st in order for you to actually qualify for the program. So let's say your baby turns 3 September 1st. They still meet that age requirement. But if your baby is born September the 12th, and they turn 3 on September the 12th, unfortunately, they will have to wait another year in order to attend pre-K.
Okay, so they have to be 3 when the school year starts. Great. And actually sort of a related, I'm sorry, what?
So we do have students that when school starts, they are currently 2 years old and they don't turn 3 until September 1st.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, because we start in August. But yes,
Correct.
okay. Forget that. This kind of a related age question. If a parent was admitted to the pre-K 4, but they decided to hold their son back another year, and now the child is 5, can they still attend pre-K, or they have to go into the regular school in kindergarten?
So since their baby already attended pre-K 4, they have
They
to
did
go
not.
on.
They got
have not.
accepted, but they held them back. They did not attend it.
Oh,
But now
okay.
they want to
So
apply again for that.
they have not attended at all. They
Mhm.
can go ahead and email me at mleja@dallasisd.org, and I can provide further information. We do have the SB 1697 that provides the opportunity to parents to hold their babies back in pre-K one more year since the COVID pandemic.
Okay, great. And just to, so that we're clear, pre-K does provide transportation, right?
If transportation is provided at that individual school, yes.
Okay. And then you have to meet the qualifications for, if it's a choice school or program, then yes, transportation is included. If you're attending like a regular legacy school, then there's other prerequisites for transportation to be provided, and those you can find on the pre-K page and our transportation page. Excellent. So we still have quite a few questions that we're furiously answering in the Q&A. We have about 5 more minutes to go on this virtual presentation. So please keep them coming. We'll try and answer them. Just because I've seen a lot of questions come in. If you're not living physically in Dallas ISD, yes, you can apply to any of our programs. But our students who live within the Dallas ISD attendance zone will get priority. Once all those students have been assigned or they've accepted, then we'll start looking at those students who live outside the district attendance zone. And this applies to all of our programs. Magnet, pre-K, P-Tech, all of those transfers. So if a student does not meet, for example, for a magnet program, like Booker T, for example, that's an arts magnet, if they don't meet the minimum standardized test scores to qualify, but they do have the artistic ability, is that taken into consideration, or do they look at the minimum requirements, academic requirements first?
So for any magnet school, based on our policy, they do look at eligibility first. So a student must meet eligibility to move into the audition process.
So yeah, so definitely. And where, if you're not, for example, if you're transferring from a school that is not in the district, that's perhaps a charter school, but you want to attend one of our schools, where do they get the test scores and that kind of thing from the other school?
So the best place to get those scores would be from the school the student is coming from. If they're a Dallas ISD student and are having trouble obtaining those scores, they can always reach out to our office, to the enrollment line, and we will assist them with obtaining those scores. If they do not live in Dallas ISD, if they're coming from a private school, a charter school, and their district or they haven't taken a test, on our website we have a big list of tests that we accept because we know not everybody gives, all districts give iReady. So there's a list of tests that you can look at. If your student still does not have any of those tests, then our district will test those students. The student must first submit an application in order to be scheduled to take one of the tests to meet eligibility.
And you can submit the application without uploading any of those tests, right?
So the application will require you something. You can just upload maybe a proof of address or just a note that says my child needs testing before they can submit it. So once the school receives it, they will see that they don't have any test scores and reach out to the parent.
Okay, great. And for any of these programs, not just Magnet, but all of them, are there at this point open houses for the schools or visiting hours? Or if a parent wants to go look at the school that they're applying to, how do they go about it? Do they just contact the school first? Or do we have set open houses already?
So some schools do have set open houses. I know magnet programs and possibly transformation programs already have those set, and you can find those on the Dallas ISD website. Also, some schools will accommodate school visits. So they just need to reach out to those campuses because some of those will accommodate school visits, outside of before the January 31st deadline.
Okay, great. And that applies to other programs, transformation, P-Tech?
I believe so, but
Yes, for transformation, we do have it on our website. There's a link for open house dates and times. But yes, like Nancy said, you can also reach out to the campus and they can accommodate those where you can go maybe take a tour of the school.
How about with P-Tech? Is that something that you guys offer as well? We may have lost our P-Tech person. But definitely do contact the school if you want, especially with P-Tech, because part of the classes they take sometimes are at the college. So
I'm here. Can you please
okay,
repeat the
great.
question? Sorry about that.
Yes, if parents want to like get to know the school a little bit more, are there open house dates or do they just contact the school so that they feel more comfortable about their, especially with P-Tech, because some of the time is spent at a college. How does that work? How do they get to?
Absolutely, as they should. I know all 26 of the PTech Early College assistant principals and all the counselors, all of them would tell you to please contact the school, come by anytime. They will give you probably a one-on-one guided tour. It's very important that you are comfortable and your student knows where they're going to be and what the culture of that place is like. So contact the school, request a tour. The way it works logistically, your student spends their freshman and sophomore year still at the high school. They are taking college courses at the high school. So college professors come to the high school, the students take their courses that way. In addition to band athletics, they never have to give up their traditional high school, the best of the high school experience. And then beginning their junior year, the students start their day at the high school, which is when, band, athletics, things like those electives are usually offered. And then mid-morning, they take the school bus out to the partnering college, where they will spend the majority of the day at the college campus alongside other college students taking their courses taught by college professors at Dallas College, Brookhaven, Cedar Valley, Richland, Eastfield. And then at the end of the day, when their college courses are done, they ride the bus back to their high school. So their day begins and ends at their high school campus as a junior and senior, if that answered that question.
Yes, and so yeah, because I think since it's a very different format, parents sometimes are a little reluctant, but getting to know the school and asking questions is a great way to allay all those concerns. It's because it is a great program. So, and if you if you're still thinking about it, about which program is the best for your child, please reach out to us today until 2 o'clock at 972-925-5560. We've answered quite a few of your questions either out loud or already in the Q&A, maybe the ones that are like a lot more specific we didn't get a chance to address, but please do give that number a call today until 2 o'clock, or call that number during the week, Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 5, or you can visit one of our one centers. Also, if you go to dallasisd.org/discover, there are links to all of these programs that we talked about here. And then once you get there, you have contact information for folks that represent these programs. If you want to have questions that are more specific about any of them, we really want for your child to find the best fit educational opportunity that we can offer. So we are here to help you. We are here to guide you. Just contact us. I hope that this presentation was helpful to you. We are so grateful for you joining us. We want to thank all the panelists, all the experts that shared information with us. we do this every year. We also have a live event that we do for Discover before we do the virtual ones. So we really want to get you to get to know all the choices that we offer. We have another event for our legacy schools coming up in April, and we'll be sending information about that. So in case you are not sure what programs are offered at our legacy schools that you'll be attending because you're in the neighborhood, we will have information about that. So be on the lookout for that event. Thank you again so much for sharing part of your morning with us. And we hope that that you get your application in before the deadline, January 31st. And we look forward to seeing you at one of our specialty programs or schools next year. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day and a great weekend.